Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Bill Levinson, Managing Partner with Levinson and Associates. With us today, we have Joseph Loughran, our Marketing Vice President, and we have a special guest speaker, Steve Johnson, who helped create our IUL sales presentation software that we're going to really hone in on today's webinar. So great stuff to come. Me and Joe are going to run for about 5 or 10 minutes. We have some new updates that we want to talk about with all of our agents, and then we're going to introduce. Steve, if you can mute your phone, I'm sorry. So we're going to introduce Steve in about 5 to 7 minutes, and then he's going to dive into his presentation and show you exactly what the software looks and feels like and how you can use this in your everyday life and by selling indexed universal life and comparing IUL to, let's say, existing 401k products, Roth, IRA, qualified, non-qualified products, basically anything that the client is interested in purchasing, unless they've already purchased. You can take the existing product, stack it up against our IUL with any of our carriers that we represent, and show the client at the end of the presentation why the IUL is the clear-cut winner in almost every single category. So and you will agree with us by the time we're done that it simply makes for an easy sale when you see how this is laid out and what your client is looking at as far as tax penalties, advantages, withdrawals, premium distribution. Basically takes every single part of these products and lines them up. And the biggest thing is it shows how the fees on an IUL don't even come close to what the fees are on a 401k or Roth or IRA qualified or non-qualified plan. So it makes for a clear-cut solution, and it really is going to help you get your foot in the door and sell more IUL, which is the name of the game. So our promise to you, and as you have probably heard by now, June is IUL month at Levinson and Associates, and we put together this IUL challenge for all of our agents. So what we're telling you is if you listen to our training webinars that we have had this month and that we still have coming up towards the end of the month, and you use our sales software presentation system for IUL, you will make at least one sale by the end of the month, okay? And as you know, an IUL sale is typically 10 to 40 times the amount of a typical, let's say, term or final expense or mortgage protection sale. So there's a lot of money to be made here. Your clients certainly win, because when you see the differences, you will agree with us that this is a no-brainer for you and your clients. So everybody wins, in my opinion. So great stuff to come. We also have some new additions that we're going to talk about that is going to help you make more sales all around in every category of your life insurance sales toolbox, if you will. So let's move forward here, Joe. Okay, we're going to dive into our upcoming agent training events, and we have what Joe is going to talk about what's coming, but I just want to note one thing. Do not miss that webinar on the 30th. That's the last presentation for our IUL challenge, and Joe Ross is the speaker. He is the #1 speaker in the industry, okay? I promise you, do not miss that webinar on June 30th. Okay, Joe.
Thanks, Bill. So, of course, all these upcoming training events are actually posted right to the CarrieLevinson.com website. So when you log in, you can go to the training calendar and click on them and register just like you are on today's call. Our next webinar, actually tomorrow at 2 p.m. Eastern, we're going over our exclusive mortgage lead program. We're actually going to have the lead program creator and a Levinson agent that's been using that program for about 4+ years talk about their success with the program and give you some tips and hints and some insights into how to use that lead program successfully. Then Thursday the 30th, like Bill had mentioned, at 2 p.m., we're covering fundamentals of IUL and some sales concepts for specifically the IUL product. Going into July on the 7th at 2 p.m. Eastern, we're going over our e-requirement agent tool, which we're going to be covering in just a couple slides. We're actually going to walk you through that e-requirement process and actually show you how to shave off at least 4 or 5, sometimes even a week and a half of cycle time on your life cases. It's a great tool. It's available at no cost to all Levinson agents. And then towards the middle of July, on Wednesday the 13th at 2 p.m. Eastern, we're covering our Sell While You Sleep platform, some new and improved products to basically show you how agents can use our free websites and actually have clients run quotes, apply for coverage, and even print their policies in a matter of about 10 to 15 minutes from start to finish. That platform is entirely turnkey, and those websites are optimized for mobile use. So definitely register for these upcoming events. You can also check out that YouTube channel. Go to YouTube, type in Levinson and Associates. We have actually just over 125 different videos you can watch on anything that we're covering today, as well as just getting started with the Levinson team.
Okay, thanks, Joe. So as you know, it's very important to stay with the times and even be one step ahead of your competition. And that goes for us as an IMO, you as an agent or agency, and of course the life insurance company itself. We all have to make sure that we're utilizing the best technology that's available, not just in our industry, but all of the industries around us. Okay, as we know, the life and health side is very behind on what's going on in the rest of the nation here. So it's important that we're out there every day and we're looking at the latest tools that are going to help you, A, increase your business, B, streamline your platform, and C, most important, is literally go from quote to policy issue in less time. That's the name of the game. Okay, very important. So the way we look at it as an IMO, it's our job to go out there, bring these tools to our agents, and B, not charge you an activation fee, monthly fees that are being billed to your credit card or checking account. We pay for 99% of all of the tools that we offer. So that's real important to us, and it should be important to you as well. And our latest tool and part of our iGenius platform is the Levinson e-requirement tool. So what we did is, the long story short, years ago, when you sent an application in, okay, for us to process, and we sent it to the home office for underwriting, the underwriter gets the application and says, oh, your client likes to scuba dive 250 feet for a hobby every other weekend. Well, we need a scuba questionnaire form filled out. Well, in the past, that message gets sent to us. We relay this to the agent. You go on our website, print the form, maybe mail, fax, or email it to your client, wait for it to come back, send it to us. We forward it to the company. The underwriter takes a look to make sure that everything's okay. God forbid you missed a question or a signature, the whole process starts all over again. Well, now with e-requirement, let's say the underwriter says, I need this hazardous activity form filled out. You go into our website. It's all single sign-on. Okay, you click on your actual case. You click on hazardous activity form, say with Prudential. The form pops up online in front of you. You call your client, or maybe you're in front of your client at that time. You fill out the form online. You hit submit. That is sent back to us in the underwriter, all in real-time fashion. Okay, you just saved, in some cases, a few days, in most cases, a few weeks of turnaround time. So that's e-requirement. If you were to go to the vendor and purchase this tool, it's $3.95 for every form that you utilize. With us, it's free. Okay, that's very important, especially if you're selling over the phone. That's called Levinson e-requirement. It's now available on our website. Okay, another brand new program that was launched literally this time yesterday. This is huge, and in my opinion, this is a great way to generate your own leads, and these are a slam dunk, folks, and I haven't seen this in years, okay? The long story short, if you're selling Banner life insurance products, okay, term insurance, if it's a 10, 15, 20-year term that you sold in the last 4 years, you can simply buy a new 25-year term for your client, guaranteed issue, without having to get an exam and go through full underwriting. It is one guaranteed exchange form. You and the client sign, and the policy is issued within days. And you still get full commission on the difference of premium. So what a great way to go visit your existing book of Banner Life clients. This is huge. It's a slam dunk, because I don't know anyone that's going to say, oh, you know what, I don't need more insurance, or I don't need a longer term length, and I don't mind going through underwriting again. This is guaranteed issue. If you need a listing of your policies that are eligible, just call us or shoot us an email. We will get that right over to you. Also, great opportunity. Even if you haven't written anything with Banner, we are putting together a orphan policyholder list as we speak for Banner and Genworth, where you'll be able to participate and go in and sell these clients additional insurance. So great stuff to come, and we'll keep you posted with details. We'll actually send out an email blast with that orphan policy holder lead program details. So keep your eyes peeled for that. Okay, another great, exciting product in our lineup. This is huge. 2 years ago, we launched the first official online term product that is sold by the client. It's 100% client-driven, zero agent involvement. Okay, this is huge in banks, wirehouses. If you have a website, social media, if you work with a P&C agency or health agency, this is so easy. You get appointed, you get your own custom link, you post that link anywhere or send it out with an email blast. Your client clicks on the link, runs a quote, signs up online with only 3 health questions. You can get up to $150,000 of death benefit, and you have the client now will have an option of level or decreasing term. So that is huge. It's a first in our industry. We have the exclusive rights to this product. I actually developed a product a couple of years ago with Fidelity Security Life. The best part is we finally have launched our level version. So that's a level guaranteed death benefit the entire 20 years. And I still don't understand how we managed to do this. But A, we kept the application to 3 health questions, bumped the face amount to $150,000, and we were able to get this approved. So this is huge. Send the application in. The client receives a policy within 48 hours. It's that simple. Lightning term. The decreasing product is up and running. The level product has just been approved, and the state filings are in as we speak. So most of the states should be done by July 4th. So we're very excited about this lightning term, decreasing, and the brand new level version. So get signed up now, and then your link will automatically be updated. Okay, moving forward here, you've heard about the Levinson IUL Challenge. Joe is going to touch on this briefly, just so you have your arms around it. And again, don't forget that webinar on June 30th, 2 p.m. Joe?
Yeah, thanks, Bill. So real quick here, like we mentioned, we've got the today's webinar and then the one on the 30th where we're covering fundamentals of IUL. Also, I want everyone to know we tied in an Apple iWatch contest basically for this, June being IUL month at Levinson and Associates. If you write in place a total of 7,500 of target IUL business, you can take your pick of either an Apple iWatch, complimentary E&O coverage, or a $400 cash bonus. So that is running right now. So any sort of IUL business that you're writing, especially using this platform, will qualify towards any one of those incentives. I do want to preface, before we introduce Steve here, just a little bit about the software we're covering today. This is by far one of the simplest, easiest to use platforms that we've ever seen. Normally the cost for this is going to be about almost $500. This is, again, free for all Levinson agents. We're basically covering 4 months of the software access. And as an added bonus, if you write in place $5,000 of IUL premium during that 4-month period, we're actually going to pay for an additional 12 months of software access so you can keep using the program moving forward, because we know once you see the presentation today, you're going to be able to literally double and sometimes triple the amount of IUL business. Basically, all agents appointed with one of our IUL carriers will receive an email this afternoon with an activation link. So you can go ahead and click that link, fill out your information, and actually be able to download that software. You'll receive an email with the instructions to actually download the software and get started. That'll also include some great training videos for you to learn how to actually use the platform. I do want to say, and I don't want to steal any of Steve's thunder here, but what you're about to see really is groundbreaking. You're going to actually have access to consumer videos on demand, be able to explain market risk, and like Bill mentioned earlier on, really explain the Index Universal Life product. You'll hear from Steve here in just a couple of minutes, but this is definitely by far one of the best sales programs or software programs we've ever seen.
Okay, thank you, Joe. So without further ado, Steve Johnson actually helped create the IUL sales software. So he's going to dive into the program. And don't forget, this is free for everyone. So a great time to take advantage. And there's no reason why you shouldn't get started after today's call. Steve, you there?
I'm here, ready to go.
Thank you.
All right, well, I want to tell you guys, you're one lucky group of people to be working with Levinson. They just laid out more stuff than it's just blown me away. So I'm going to go through here pretty quick, and I'm going to help you guys really compete for all those contests on IUL, because I'm going to show you something I guarantee you it will blow you away. Absolutely. If you're thinking about selling IUL, you want to sell IUL, you're already selling IUL, this tool is going to help you double and triple your sales. And I'm not just saying that. This is information that we get from agents every single day. So how do we help you double your income? Well, because it's really easy to understand. And a prospect, if they don't understand, they say, well, let me think about it. And that's just terrible. You never want to hear, let me think about it, because basically they're saying, well, I don't know, I'll be nice, let me think about it, right? Well, you don't want to sell IUL anymore. I know that sounds strange, right? You don't want to sell it, and you don't, because you want people to buy an IUL. When they want to buy, you're no longer selling. But how do you get them to want to buy? Well, we're going to show you, because there are three emotions that drive people to make a decision. Now, you usually use pleasure. Oh, this IUL is great. It's going to give you extra money. It's going to give you a death benefit. You know all the benefits, right? But they don't. They have no clue. So if you just show the pleasure of the benefits, they're going to go, well, that sounds interesting, yeah, but you know, I'm familiar with my 401k. But when you introduce pain and fear, now that's the trifecta of getting people to take action. If you don't have those three emotions, they're just going to go, well, let me think about it. And here's a simple fact. 10 to 30%, that's the closing ratio of almost all the IUL agents, 10 to 30% of the people they talk to. So if you could double your sales because of this calculator, guess what? You've just doubled your income without any additional new people. So we're going to show you the benefits of tax-free income for life, the tax-free death benefit, the huge tax savings, and the huge fee savings, and of course, they're never going to be running out of money. It's a very simple process, and it starts with a conversation. You show an example of somebody else. You know, a lot of people say, well, let me gather a bunch of data on you, and then I'll meet with you. Well, that's a really good way for some people, but there's a lot of people now, they want it all in 10 or 20 minutes. They don't want to do 2 or 3 appointments, and you haven't shown them anything that's unique. So why do you want to get together with me? There's 100 of you out there, or 1,000 of you out there. So we show this sales process where you have a conversation, you show an example file, you show our PowerPoint, and then you move through the sales cycle. Very, very simple. Let me get in here and show you the calculator. So first off, I'm going to give you a little layout so it's very easy to understand, and I'm using a tool called Ink2Go. Ink2Go allows me to draw these red boxes. And why is that important? Because when you get somebody on By the way, you can use this tool in front of somebody or over the internet. I personally haven't been in front of a client for 2 years. I do all of my sales over the internet, and the closing ratios are very, very high. So this area up here is where we put in the basic information, their age, when they're going to retire and quit putting money in, when they're going to take money, their working tax rate, their retirement tax rate, how much they pay for their 401k or qualified plan fees, and then using 6.5% for their current plan, the 401k, and 6.5% for the IUL. You know, a lot of people that have been selling IUL in the past, when they came out with AG 49, were freaking out, going, oh man, how are we going to sell this IUL if we're only using 6.5 or 7%? Well, guess what? You don't have to use anything bigger than 6.5. It still kills the 401k. This column right here, this right here is your current plan. This would be like your 401k. In this side, we've got the IUL, the tax-free program, and then this column here does a comparison of the taxes, the fees.
Steve, sorry,
yes.
I just want to interrupt real quick. We're actually viewing the PowerPoint, so I think we may need to switch screens.
Son of a gun! Thank you. I'm
no problem.
Really glad that you got that. How about this? Better now.
Perfect. That's it.
Okay, thank you so much. I would have been going on and on. So anyway, up here, this is the basic area that I was telling you about, where you put in your inputs, their ages, etc. This column over here, this is your 401k. This column here would be like your IUL, and then over here, we're comparing all of the numbers on a side-by-side basis. Basically, this is like the old Ben Franklin, left side, right side, doing a comparison. Now, inside of our calculator, in order to make things simple, again, we're not going to go around changing all kinds of information. You know, with your normal selling tool, your illustration, you've got all kinds of pages. So instead of changing pages, we're simply going to change the age. It makes it very, very simple. And the reason that this calculator works so well is because it is simple. So again, we're going to do a side-by-side comparison, and let me jump back over here first and show you these little pop-ups. So you're talking with somebody, and here's an example. You're talking to somebody that's 43. Hey, let me show you an example of somebody that's 45. This particular person's in the 25% tax bracket. Here's where taxes have been, and here's where they are right now. And at this point, I ask people, hey, do you think taxes are going to go up or down or remain the same? Everybody says, I think taxes are going to go up. And you know what? I agree. We have another pop-up, because this is from the National Debt Clock. There's over $19 trillion in debt. The only place that the government gets money is from taxation. So yes, the odds are that we're going to see taxes go up, but we're initially going to show this without taxes go up. Also on this pop-up, what most people have no clue about is their 401k. Just to own their 401k, they've got fees. And it could range anywhere from 0.5 point up to 2%, and that's just for the pleasure of owning a 401k. On top of that, according to Forbes magazine, most people have their money in a 401k inside of a mutual fund, and there are mutual fund fees on top of the 401k fees. Who doesn't trust Forbes? They're telling us that on average, we're looking at around 4%. So 4 plus 2, 6%, but we're going to initially just show 2%. We also do a side-by-side comparison so people can see how the numbers go up and down, because we all know that with the 401k, they never lock in the gains. This is a look back to from 2000 to 2015, and then we have this little pop-up here that is very, very simple. The green line, that's the IUL. The red line, that's the S&P. Now, one of the things the S&P gets away with is what's called the average rate of return versus the actual rate of return. And the average rate of return is mathematically correct, but it's like a magician's sleight of hand, where they're getting you to look over here, where the reality is, what's the real rate of return? And of course, the real rate of return, according to the CAGR, that's the compound annual growth rate, has been just a little bit over 2%. Over the past 15 years, the IUL true rate of return has been 6.5%. Doesn't take anybody but a second to look at this and say, yeah, I'd rather follow that green line versus the red line. And there's a little pop-up here as well to help people understand the cap and the floor. But now let's get back over and help you see exactly how this calculator really helps you. So again, we're showing this example of somebody else, and this particular person, they're putting away $13,300 a year into their 401k. If they were to take that money home and quit funding their 401k, they'd have to pay taxes, and then we would have about $10,000 left over. Now, at that 6.5% rate of return on the IUL, it's going to produce about $34,000 of income at age 66. Well, you know what? In order to do an apples-to-apples comparison, the 401k is going to have to produce net the same $34,000. The big problem is they've got to take out $45,000, pay $11,000 in taxes to get the same net income over that period of time. And again, we're going to compare this over a person's lifetime. So it's very simple. Let me clear this. All right. So here we are at age 45. Now, what has happened is initially, we've got this person that has gone tax deferred. And when they've gone tax deferred, they don't pay taxes on it. And the CPA says, well, we saved you X amount of dollars this year. No, they didn't save you any money at all. They simply put off the taxes. Remember, everybody just said they thought taxes were going to go up. So what did they pay in taxes? Well, they didn't pay anything. They tax deferred. What did we pay in taxes the first year? Well, we paid $3,300. Wow, that sounds like a lot, right? So the IUL, year number one, was $333 more expensive. At their 2% fee, they only paid $284. The IUL, year one, cost $1,700. That means the IUL, the first year, was $1,400 more expensive. Again, we're at age 45, so there is no income because we haven't hit 66 yet. And at the end of the first year, this person, their cumulative account balance in their 401k was only about $13,000, $14,000. Now, if that client died at 45 at the end of the year, and the wife said, hey, I want a full distribution, okay, but you got to pay back Uncle Sam, that means you're going to end up with about $10,000. Well, with the IUL, at the end of day one, when they sign their contract, they've got a death benefit of over $222,000. So if you subtract that $10,004 from the 22, year one, you have a death benefit of over $212,000. Well, actually, it's not year one. It's day one. The day they sign, they're good to go. There's a tax advantage, an IUL advantage of over $212,000 of tax-free income. Pretty simple, right? Well, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you the three big benefits as we go through this information. So we're going to take a look at the pain, the fear, and the pleasure very quickly and very simply. So we can notice right now we're at 45. The first year we have $212,000. Let's go up 10 years. Oh, look at the fees. They paid $21,000. The IUL is now only $18,000. We're over $2,700 less, plus a death benefit. Not too bad. Let's jump up here to, let's go up all the way to 85, just to kind of make this simpler. So what's happened by 85? Well, number one, they ran out of money at age 78. We're at 85, we're still producing cash. Their 401k ran out of money. Why? Well, look at their fees. They paid $151,000 in fees versus the IUL at 66, and these are all the fees, everything. We're $85,000 less in fees. And look at here, what they pay in taxes, $147 versus 70. Now we're $77,000 less. But what about income? That's the big one. Cumulative net income, well, the 401k only took home $443,000, ran out of money at 78. The IUL still producing money, doesn't quit until the day they die, and then they get a death benefit. But by 85, the IUL's produced over $681,000 of tax-free income. The difference between the two is $237,000 of additional tax-free income. Now, and a death benefit. That's close to, what, $450,000? Now, this looks pretty good at this point. There's the pain. And I tell you, when people see what they paid in fees, they freak out. They're like, man, I paid that much? Yeah, what'd you get for the money you gave to Wall Street? Well, the answer is simple. They didn't get a single thing. This $151,000, that's from the money they put away. $151,000 and taxes, and the IUL still cooking along. But watch this. This is where it gets really interesting, because everybody said, yeah, I think taxes are going to go up. So Mr. or Mrs. Client, over the next 20 years, what do you think taxes could go up to? Well, what if they go to 35%? Now, I haven't hit enter. Watch age 78 and watch this. Ready? Oh, taxes went up 10%. Your 401k runs out of money now at 75. We're still cooking along with the IUL, and we produced over $312,000 of additional income. Well, that's not bad, but we have 2 more moves to make, because remember, they're probably paying somewhere between 3.5% to 6% in fees. Well, what if you found out your fees are actually just 3.5%? Watch age 75. Watch that 312. Fees, well, now you're running out of money at 73. And look at this, $400,000 plus a death benefit. But even better, remember I talked about the pain and the fear? Well, you got to point this stuff out. Look how much you paid in fees, $190. What did you take home? $273. Now, I'm not great at math on the fly, but that's over 50%. 50% of the money you put into your savings went to Wall Street. Nobody knows that. You ran out of money at 73. That's the fear. There's the pleasure, but we still have another move. Well, remember, when people retire, they usually take their money out of the market and put it somewhere safe. Where? Money market, CD, annuity, somewhere, right? Well, if they've only made a little over 2% and they put their money at retirement into a safe environment, let's just say that their lifetime return, instead of 6.5%, was just 5.5. I still think that that's very aggressive. Now watch age 73. You ready? Now they're running out of money at age 71. We're 446 plus ahead. That's pretty amazing. Now at this point, people are like, wow, and look at the fees, look at the income, look when you run out of money. Now you've gone through this presentation. It's taken about 15 minutes. And at the beginning of the conversation, you told the client, look, I'm going to take 15 or 20 minutes. I'm going to show you an example of somebody else. I'm not going to ask you about your information. And at the end of the presentation, I'm going to ask you 2 questions. Would you like to see what your numbers would look like? And if you don't, you got to promise me right now, if this isn't right for you, and it's not right for everybody, you've got to tell me, no, thank you, this isn't right for me. Do you think somebody's going to say, no, this isn't right for me, when we're looking at $700,000 of additional income and a death benefit? The odds are no. But if they do say no, thank you, thank your lucky stars, because those are somebody you would have wasted time on. How do I know this? Because I'm a life agent for 12 years doing IUL. And when I hear people say, let me think about it, I know I've lost them. I've wasted hours and hours trying to call people back, trying to, quote, sell them the IUL. We no longer have to sell the IUL. Just like if you go to a store and you look at a shirt or a piece of clothing and the salesperson comes up and tells you what they think you should be wearing, you don't want to sell somebody. You want to ask them what they need, show them the information, and they'll go, yeah, I want to buy this. So TAC turns this into you being a salesman, into you being an advisor. That makes all the difference in the world. Absolutely, hugely different. Because now people say, yes, I'd like to explore this more. And then you're able to gather their data, run an illustration, put that information into the calculator. 2 days later, come back, show them their numbers, and simply say, hey, you want to see what your numbers look like? And they'll probably go, well, if these are my numbers as compared to my 401k, this looks great. Well, you got to remember, this is something that I tell people is, well, let me ask you a quick question. What are other forms of tax-free income do you know of out there? Well, there's a Roth 401k, there's a Roth IRA, and there's a few mutual funds, right? Yeah, and that's about it. except for this program. Now, what most people don't know is this came available back in the mid-1980s under TEFRA, DEFRA, and TAMRA. That's when Congress passed 3 congressional acts. TEFRA, DEFRA, TAMRA are what the IUL is built on, and it's also tax-free under 7702 and 72E. So in order to be able to get this type of tax-free income where you can put in as much money as you want, there's only one requirement that the government has. You have to have the smallest legal death benefit possible in order to qualify for this program. See, what we did is a lot of people have a really hard time telling people, oh yeah, this is life insurance. But once you do this setup and you tell them, look, in order to get this, the government says you got to have a small life insurance, the smallest life insurance policy that money can buy. And remember, you know, not all your money is going to go to the cost. It's not like you're just buying insurance. The white part on the left, that's your money. The red part on the right, that's the government's money inside of your 401k. So with the IUL, we're going to make sure that you've got enough money so that when you retire, you're going to be able to take this income for your lifetime until you die. Look what happens if you're at 95. Oh, and here's something too. Got to show you this. Everybody in our industry, unfortunately, says, you know, if you're going to get matching money, you probably should take that matching money. Well, let me just prove that right now. Let me put in $6,000 of matching money, right? $6,000. That's $6,000 a year of free money plus the money you're putting in over your lifetime. And what we're going to do is watch age 71. You ready? Wow, $6,000 a year simply extended when you're going to run out of money potentially at age 75. Why would you continue to put your money into a 401k that never locks in the gains, is subject to market losses, has no death benefit advantage for your loved ones, and the IUL does all of that? It's tax-free. This is one of the simplest ways, and I'll tell you, the Levinson Group is giving you guys this for free for 4 months. I don't know how many are contracted right now. I can't think of a single reason that you guys wouldn't call them immediately or get the information and try this software out. We're going to train. We're going to provide you information. We've got all kinds of documentation, and we're going to make it very, very simple for you. Because if you use it, you will benefit. Let me just kind of go through a couple of slides here. We provide you all these different sample files. So no matter what age, you've got different numbers in there. This is the Ink2Go tool that I've been using, ink2go.org. You get the calculator and you get training videos. This is the quick layout that I just showed you. I'm going to pop through this because we went through it pretty quick there. The white boxes, those are the input screens only. And we've got some more training. I don't want to go into too much detail on this. That'll come later on. But we've got all the training that you need, training videos, videos for your clients, videos for you, and we have the recorded webinars as well. I can't imagine, like I said, one reason you wouldn't get this software and try it out. You really will have the potential to double and triple your closing ratio. That doubles and triples your income. And you also, because you're now an educator, you have a much higher potential for somebody to refer you because you're not selling, you're showing the math, and the math just doesn't lie. I can't think of anything else at this moment that I need to go in there and show you, but let me just kind of click through. Nah, there's not a lot. This is just some of the training that we offer once that we get everybody set up. All right, I'm going to go ahead and pass it over to you. I want to thank you all for coming back on or coming onto this call today. So back over to Carrie or Joe.
Yep, we're on. Thank you very much, Steve. Great job. We appreciate that. And just so everyone knows, we're going to send out an email today to everyone that's on the call, and we'll include instructions so you can get set up with the software as soon as later on today or even tomorrow. So We're very excited about this. We'll also include some of our carriers and our hot IUL products, so you could see exactly what is shining right now. And we think that between our internal software, the TAC program, and of course our hand-holding here inside the Levinson headquarters, that we will have you up and running in no time. Even if you're an IUL expert, you're going to sell a lot more policies. If you've never sold an IUL before, just listen to us. We will literally hold your hand, get you set up, and you will sell your first IUL policy and see exactly what we're talking about and why we're so excited. So with that said, you know, I'm a big motivational guy, and I think everybody has either seen or heard about what LeBron James did in the Cleveland Cavaliers. He defeated the odds when everyone said they were pretty much done. They were down 3-1. They came back and won the series. So I think that's big. You know, we all need to step out of our comfort zone. If you're a third bedroom term agent, you know, that's great, but the money is in indexed universal life. When you're talking, you know, $20,000, $30,000, $40,000 of commissions for one policy, okay, that's huge. And of course, it's a win-win because your client is also benefiting. So step outside of the box, learn about indexed UL. We're here to help you. And I'll end the call with this. You can't be afraid to fail. It's the only way you succeed. You're not going to succeed all the time, and I know that. LeBron James. So step outside, make it happen. We're here to hold your hand. Have a great rest of the week, a great weekend, and good selling. Take care.